Y'all probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flows chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is, but basically, before I even get into what I want to talk about, which you can tell by the title exactly where I'm gonna go with it, man. Shout out to everybody that continue to support the channel. Shout out to those who actually watch my ads, which is kind of, you know, it sucks, you know what I mean, to try to sit there and, you know, let the ad play when you want to get back to exactly what an individual is saying. But that does help the channel out. But what helps the channel out more is commenting, like, and subbing to the channel. And I will try to give you more of me, you know what I mean? But basically, man, but what I wanted to get into this whole, you know, Wack 100 and this Meek Mill ordeal, which, you know, when you hear it, it's comical, but then when you think about it, exactly where this can go to, you know, especially if they cross paths. You know, some people just saw the Wack 100 video when he was out here in Palmdale or Lancaster, and the white dudes, you know, try to jump him, and he just put absolute tips on them fools, you know what I mean? And, you know, for the people that might be like, oh, this fool ain't got no chunkums, yeah, he bust dude's mouth, you know what I mean? Not even his mouth, just bust his eye all open, you know what I mean? So, you know, when you defending yourself against, you know, and you handle your business, we can't do nothing but give that to you. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff that Wack say that sometimes I be like, wow, this man way out, but it's him. As an individual, he's allowed to say what he want to say within reason, especially when it comes down to how you're going to handle it if you actually run into these people. And so far from what we've seen and what I've seen, he's been handling his business when he comes across it. Now, you know, I say that he's probably one of the most hated people on the internet outside of 6ix9ine, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know what I mean? I can say nothing about an individual that has no smut on his name. I've heard nothing about him ratting, so, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and chime in on what he was talking about, which is the whole thing about Meek Mill and 6ix9ine pulling up on dude. See, now that is one thing. It's like you got caught off guard. A rat pulled up on you, and don't get me wrong, you know, when you're dealing with situations like that and you're making that type of money, you can't really respond the way you want to. But that's for the average rapper. When you're a rapper still portraying street and you're out there trying to be that individual, that's like me dissing in my songs and then run into cats and they want it and I don't want to give it to them. Meek Mill went out his way a gang of time to diss 6ix9ine. He became, I guess, on that side, the face of disrespect towards that rat. So when that rat pulled up on him and wanted that smoke, he didn't want to give it to him. And it's funny, you know, we can play devil's advocate, we can play for both sides, you know what I mean, as far as Wack's side and then Meek Mill's side. You know, on one hand, Meek Mill's making millions of dollars, and putting hands on that individual probably would have cost him a lot, maybe put him in jail. Some people said that it would have sent him back to prison, but from what I've heard, he's never been to prison, but that's nor here nor there. Now, you know, we can also see it from Wack's way. If you talk about it, be about it. If you make it known in your music, in every song, in your all your, you know, hostile rhetoric towards that rat, that you'll do this, you'll do that, and F this and F that, and then he pull up on you, you know, on some street, you supposed to get at him, like, regardless. And it's true, like, when you watch the video, you know, Meek Mill made absolutely no effort to push towards 6ix9ine. And yeah, you know, if you watch the video, 6ix9ine is just behind him. He's pushing a little bit, but whoever the guys are with him, whether security, cops, whatever, they're, you know, holding him back. But the whole thing is like, if I can see it from Wack's point, like, if you disrespect somebody and then you see them and don't handle your business, what does that make you? Now it's one thing, it's like you have like a little beef that really don't mean absolutely nothing. It's just like talking, you know, like when Meek Mill was going at it with Drake, they were disrespecting each other, but it was just music. That stuff you see them pass right by because it's really nothing. It's music. But when it comes to that street stuff, if you're disrespecting an individual, whether rap, whether PC, whether snitch, whether whatever, and he pulls up on you, you are obligated by street law to at least try to get your money. He could even act like he was gonna rush him, fell down, stumbled, and you know what I mean, and people still would have been like, okay, well at least he tried to. But this dude made absolutely nothing, no progress, no effort to move forward, nothing. This dude spitting at him, calling him out his name, and this dude did absolutely nothing. Like I said, this is not to really gossip. It's just, you know, when people ask me about this situation, it's like, to give my honest opinion, Meek Mill should at least try to bust a grape so I can see it from Wack's point of view. Now, what I can see from Meek Mill's point of view is that he's making all this money and there's no need to really go there. But on some streets, if you talk about somebody, you better be about it. Plain and simple. And that's all I can really say on that. Now, I get it. This dude 6ix9ine, his whole thing, and I don't really even like talking about him because, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Dude did what he did, and he has to live with that. You know what I mean? And showing his name, you won't see him in his byline. You know what I mean? But showing his name only brings attention to him. I don't really know what to say, man. It's like one of those things. That's like me talking about a PC and then he pulls up on me and I don't get out. I can never show my face anymore. I wouldn't want to show my face. It would be one of those things like, you should have got busy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you got to get busy. If you're going to go out of your way to put an individual on blast that's already on blast, you better get busy. A lot of my little so-called internet beefs or whatever, these dudes didn't have the same energy in person, so it was no need to pursue anything. It's like, if I disrespect somebody, I expect when I run into them what's gonna happen. Now, if somebody act as if they have beef with me, but when they see me in person, that energy ain't there, like they ain't telling me what's up, then it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, yeah, as long as you didn't call me out my name, we good. You know what I mean? Going about your way, peasant. You know what I mean? But this dude went out his way to constantly disrespect this individual, and he made it seem like, well, I won't even say individual. He went out his way to constantly disrespect this trash and talked about what he would do, and rats should be hung and all this and whatever. But then the rat pulled up on him, and he did nothing. Like I said, you might hate Wack because what he said about Nips, you know what I mean? But it was his point of view. It may not have been well received because it was just at the time where, you know, everything was still fresh. But as an individual, he still has his opinion. And then you got to realize that the guy is a blood, you know what I mean? So showing any disrespect towards Crips is probably not going to affect him in the first place. You know what I mean? It's like me, you know, with opposition. I mean, I'm not going to feel no ways about it because it's my opinion, and I take it. I'm gonna handle whatever way it comes. Now, like I said, it wasn't the right time to say it, but it was his opinion. You know what I mean? But so far, every time you've seen Wack fight, he been fighting. You know what I mean? If they pull up on him, he been getting down. Now I ain't gonna go into about his character because I don't know him like that. I know other 2Ps, but I don't know him like that. So I'm not here to defend him. I'm just speaking on what he was talking about, and he was right. Dude put up on Meek Mill. Meek Mill should have handled his business. Plain and simple fact. If you talk street, live it. Regardless. That's the difference between rappers and street dudes. If you street, keep it street. If you rap about street and you still portray that life, then handle it in person. It's like anybody that I disrespect, I'm willing to get it. Regardless. And that's just the way it is. But that's me though, you know what I mean? But anyways, man, like I said, I'm your boy Zod. This is just my opinion on this whole Wack and Meek Mill thing. it is what it is, man. I know in some sense I'm not gonna say, but it's a lot of cloud chasing going on. You know what I mean? It's the same, you know. From one end, it was cloud chasing, and then that cloud chasing brought that energy, and the dude had to see exactly where it went. But anyways, I hope that whole, you know, Meek Mill allegedly sending that cease and desist ain't actually true, because then I would lose all respect to the guy. Not that he needs my respect because he's making millions of dollars, but as a street dude, looking at a street dude and respecting his rap and what he rap about, you know, it would, everything would be fraudulent, you know what I mean? And I could no longer support that. Like right now with this whole thing with him and 6ix9ine, I really can't say nothing, because, you know, to each his own. If you didn't want to handle it right there, maybe you had a good reason. From a street perspective, you had no good reason. You should at least try to push forward. But, you know, dealing with millions and millions of dollars, maybe you didn't want to get your hand dirty, you know what I mean? But, you know, it is what it is. And this is a prime example before I end this video. If you speak on somebody, whether they rat, trash, whatever, know that there's a chance that they might pull up. And yeah, the whole 6ix9ine thing was a publicity stunt, but maybe he did feel some type of way and felt like he really needed to. But which is kind of funny, because if you snitched on everybody, you're just trash, and there's no way you can really get around it. Like I said, you're just trash. Now, but before I close, he knows who he can pull up on. He pulled up on Meek Mill because he already knew where dude was at heart-wise. If he came to LA and pushed up on the wrong individual, or anywhere, or one of them real cats in NY, he know what time it is. Ain't no phones coming out on that end. It's just, you and your security crew better get up out of here before it go up. You know what I mean? On that note, man, be looking for the music to come. Pick Your Dead Up. That's the EP. Pick Your Dead Up. And trust me, when it drop, you're gonna be picking your dead up. And I'm out.
Kneel before Zod!